Welcome back to the channel. Today I found a Wagoneer. This is going to be a Series 3 and this one's probably the most unique one I've seen so far based off the wheels and a few other options that were selected and not selected. So I'm going to show you guys around this and the interior and exterior. I'm going to show you guys the window sticker, and on my channel I normally show you guys the door number for the cargo carrying capacity if you do plan on towing. So let's go ahead and get into it. Before we get started with the review, I want to show you guys the window sticker so you have an idea which optional. And this is going to be a 2022 Wagoneer Series 3 4-wheel drive, which is optional for the Wagoneer. $76,845 is the base, and the total price for this one is $85,420, including a $2,000 destination charge. Now, as far as the front end goes, there's not a lot of optional equipment except for that camera. This does have the adaptive cruise control as well, and every light on the front end of this is going to be LED. So you have a LED low beam and a high beam. You're also going to have LED turn signals and accent lights, and down below they do use a reflective style for the fog lights. And something that Stellantis has been doing is they've been hiding the parking sensors inside the grille, which really does clean up the front end. And I love this platinum look too that they give you. It looks really, really stylish. A lot of grille, a lot of vents. You have that 7 slot too. Everything just flows really well together. You can kind of see in the hood too, you have some, I guess, like bolstering on the hood. Looks really nice. Really completes the style of it. But this is a really, really like simple design, but it has like aggressive look to it too. Now off to the side, you do have a 20-inch wheel. And these are Nexen tires too, and they are going to be a 275 55 20. They do give you like a fabric material inside of the wheel wells here, and then the air suspension on this model does come available in that Series 3 too. And something I've noticed, this does have that black paint as you saw on the window sticker, and then you have this like gray color for the fender flares, and it shows at the bottom too. It cuts off until you get to the front of it. Has like a unique look to it. But my first time seeing a Grand Wagoneer and a Wagoneer, it is bigger than a Grand Cherokee L. Like there's a Grand Cherokee L right there, and then when you look at the Wagoneer, it's definitely bigger, but it's not like ridiculously bigger. Some people think that it's too big, but I think it's like the perfect size for like an SUV. It's probably about the size of like a Tahoe. But I do really like the design of this. It's like something different, you know. Like a lot of people have Tahoes, a lot of people have the Ford Expedition, but the Wagoneer is like that new SUV for, you know, the next generation really. I really do like the font that they use for the lettering for the badges, and you do have that platinum look that kind of flows around the SUV too. And here's one of the cameras on the mirror. And you do have a convex with blind spot monitoring. This does have the smart key system too, so you do have some lines here on the door handles. I don't see that you have them on the back door handle though. That might be something you have to step up to a Grand Wagoneer for. This one does have the fixed running boards, and if you would like to have the power deployable ones, it is available too for the Wagoneer. Now, something you can see up top here, let me pop up here real quickly so you can see it. Now, one thing I noticed is this one does not have a sunroof. That's pretty interesting for an $86,000 SUV. I think I probably would want that option, but yeah, I mean, of course it would push the price up, but I feel like if you're going to spend this kind of money, what's another couple $1,000s? Actually, a sunroof is going to cost you $5,495. WTF, aka why the face? Now check out the back. You are going to have different headlights and taillight designs in comparison with the Grand Wagoneer, but these are really stylish for the most part. Of course, as I said up front, all the lights out back are LED too, so you have the latest lighting front and rear. And from what I can see, this is the only camera on the back. They do hide the hitch, behind this cover. And the parking sensors, you have one right here, and then you have them on this gray trim piece on the bottom. And something interesting too, that they do give you your reverse lights down below outside of the tail lights. Let me know in the comment section what you think about these wheels. Not a huge fan of this. I feel like 20s look kind of small, so I would definitely get a beefier tire if it wouldn't rub, of course. And I didn't mention this, but this is the highest setting for the air suspension too. I put it in the highest setting, which is like the off-road 2 basically, and then I'll probably do a time lapse in this video if I remember to show you the lowest setting so you can compare both of them. Now, as far as the powertrain goes, this is going to be the 5.7 liter V8. It's the only engine option available for 2022 for the Wagoneer. If you would like the Grand Wagoneer, they do have a 6.4 liter. Now, this is going to be good for 392 horsepower, 404 pound-feet of torque, and it does utilize an e-torque system. This is basically like a generator, and they would call this system like a mild hybrid system because it does help you with off-the-line performance. The stop-start function works really well with this system too. And like I said, this is going to be best-in-class towing for the Grand Wagoneer and Wagoneer segment too. When you think about the e-torque, that's going to help with fuel economy. When you think about the MDS, which is multi-displacement system, that's going to allow the engine to drop down to 4 cylinders if you're just cruising on the highway. And that 8-speed transmission, which is the 8HP75, it's a good transmission. It's a ZF transmission, and it's made in Germany. That's going to help, obviously, having more gears. It's going to help you with fuel economy too. Alright, so here's the key. One thing I will say is a lot of people think that the Wagoneer and Grand Wagoneer have a size difference, but these are going to be identical in size. So I just want to make that clear before I move on. The only difference that you see between the two is really the interior design and the exterior design. If I have a chance, maybe I'll try to find two of them at the same location and just kind of show you a comparison. But this interior is really, really upscale. Soft touch in the right spots. There is some hard plastics. That's something that you probably won't see a lot of in the Grand Wagoneer. A lot of that goes away, especially when you get into the higher trim levels. You do have all automatic up and down windows. And something I'm surprised by is that I don't see that you can auto fold these mirrors. That's pretty interesting. I thought that they would have that even on the Wagoneer. As you see, this one does have the Alpine sound system. Decent storage in the door. And you do have the seat memories on the driver's side. You do have some power pedals down below, and here's a button for that. And here are some of your lighting controls for the interior and exterior. And then you do have a electronic parking brake. Getting in and out of the Wagoneer is really easy because this panel is not that high from where you see the floor, so you don't have to lift your leg up too much, which is a really good thing that they've done. I also like how they've incorporated more of like a fabric material higher up too, so you don't hit plastic with your foot and scratch it too. I like that they did that. And here are some of your seating controls. Your normal basic settings for the seat. Lumbar support right there. And stepping inside is really easy. They do give you a grab handle right here. You have that fixed running board, so just getting in and out of this one is super, super easy. And as you saw, you can power adjust the steering wheel too. And all that would be connected with your seat memories. Now let's take a look at the screens here. Alright, I'm going to turn it on. Pretty cool. Now this screen here, if you push this button, this is like a quick menu. Oil pressure low. Interesting. Might have to have them check that really quickly. But this is a quick menu here. And you can kind of go through things pretty easily if you don't want to have to keep scrolling. But we're going to go through it one by one. So this is the main menu. This is a gauge summary. And actually you can kind of scroll through this. So this shows the first one as the fuel economy, gauge summary. Here's the oil life, and then tire pressure, and then stop start function. And then here's your trip. You have a trip A and a trip B. You can actually display the navigation on the full screen. Off-road page, and as I mentioned too, we are in off-road too, which is the maximum ground clearance. You have your audio that can be shown here. This to kind of keep your eyes forward. You also have a heads-up display. I don't know if you guys can see it, but that does come available with the Wagoneer. And then if you have any messages, it will show here, like so it's saying oil pressure is low. It could be because the engine's off. I could turn it back on, but I probably won't. I'll probably will wait and see what happens. But here's a screen setup if you want to change some of the functions you see inside of here. And then back to main menu. You can go to kilometers pretty easily, and if you hold down the OK button, you can make everything digital basically. So you have that function there. Now this screen here is 10.1. This one's like 10 1/4. This screen has buttons on the side. They're not like real buttons too. They're actually like, they vibrate. Let me just turn it on. Let me see something real quick. Let's see if that low oil pressure went away. Yep, it went away. All good. But if you push these buttons on the side, these will control your heated seats and your cooled seats. You also have a heated steering wheel. I'm trying to figure out it seems like these don't work as good. Let's try something really quickly. You do have a button up here. Yeah, these work better in my opinion. Yeah, so like I said, this system's a little finicky, but you do have a knob for your volume and for the scroll, and you do have buttons below the screen that you can still use for your climate. So starting off at the home screen, you can set this up however you like. You have like these little widgets that you can set up. You can swipe to the right too. You also have a media page here, like if you want it to be your main focus. Same thing goes for climate, navigation, phone, and for the vehicle. I went fast just to kind of show you how quickly the screen works too. So there's not a lot of delays. When you first hit something, it takes a little bit of time, but it does kind of catch up pretty quickly. So you do have these pages too you can set up too, so you can reorder this, you can add or take away from this too. So I love the Uconnect 5 system, the best in the business. You do have apps too. And then here are just some of the features in there. Okay, so if you would like something on your favorites menu, you can basically put a star beside it. But yeah, this system is, you can get lost in here. I say this in every video. One of the best. So much to go over. You have your climate buttons here, and down below you do have a decently large storage area with some USBs, HDMI, Type A and Type C. So there's two for the front, and there's two rear USBs, and then you have a HDMI too for the passenger. Power plug too. Hopefully you guys can see all this. There it is. And then you have a charging area too, and you have buttons below for your auto stop start, lane keep assist, traction control, caution lights, and then this is going to be for that self parking, and then tow haul mode, and then this is to turn on that screen, but we'll go over that in a second. Moving on, you do have some cup holders. I like that they put the slit here for like a coffee mug. And here's some more storage, two more USBs. There's so many USBs inside of Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram vehicles. Insane. I mean, probably from like 2019 on. Large compartment area down below. And they do illuminate this area too. But that's pretty much it. Up top, you do have a auto dimming mirror. And they do still give you that old school like little glass here so you can see what's going on out back. LED interior lights. I like the way all this looks. It looks really upscale and classy. Home link system for your garage. They do give you LED lights inside of here for your vanity. And as I mentioned, this does not have a sunroof, which I probably will want. Now let's go ahead and take a quick peek at this screen over here. In order to turn this screen on, there is a button right here. I'm gonna push it right now. You probably heard it vibrate. So you do have an HDMI inside of this compartment here. So if you want to hook up a DVD player, a gaming system, you can do that. Now you can see the driver can't see the screen. Even when I kind of lean to the left a little bit, I can't see it. You almost have to be focused right in front of it. I love this. This is like really cool. You can swipe it too. You have controls for it. Let's turn it all the way up so you can see it. Go back to home. Swipe. So you have Fire TV. I think you can do Netflix on this. You can set up navigation on here. You can pair, I don't know if you guys see that, but you can pair new device, manage Bluetooth headphones. Such a cool system. I mean, this is like the leader here. View vehicle camera app. Look at that. And then down below here, you do have a decently sized compartment area. And there's a lot of space too on this side. I mean, this is really comfortable. Leather trim piece on the side of the seat here, on the center stack. Really nice. I'm a huge fan of this SUV. I will probably get one at some point for my wife, since they don't make the Toyota Land Cruiser anymore in the States. All right, so here's the back screen. We cannot detect your remote control. Let's get remote pairing. Let's just watch the demo really quickly. So if you have Wi-Fi, you can get it through that system. Isn't that pretty cool? All right, so that's enough of that. So I just want to show you really quickly how this worked. So continue setup. So it's scanning for networks. If you have a remote control, you can set that up too. And again, I've never used this before, so this system is fairly easy to kind of go through. So you really have to kind of set up the Wi-Fi first in order to use this system. But the back of the seat, it does have some hard plastics. I don't like this. This is going to get scratched up. It's going to look crappy. I would probably prefer them to put like a, you know, maybe like a leather or like a vinyl material. Kind of like how this is wrapped here. But these screens, they do tilt. And I mean, they definitely add some additional distractions for your kids, basically. Now, out back too, you do have seats that do go forward and backwards. I have these all the way back, and this seat is way comfortable for me. So even with that being said, two tall people can sit back to back. You do have a rear curtain for your younger kids or for anyone sitting back here. And here's just some of that door trimming there. I really like this. Now, hopefully you guys can see this below, but you do have some climate control here. It's just one zone. More USBs, power plug. Not sure how it opens. Opens down. You have two. So if your kids want to play their games, they can play them out back too on this system. I don't know if you guys can see, it does have an HDMI right here. Okay, and then it has like a USB, I believe, right here. Now, these seats do recline. This one is more reclined, but let's go out back. Having the seat all the way back, can I still be comfortable? And the answer is yes. This is really comfortable. You can recline these seats out back with power. You have some storage, cup holders, USBs, air vent. Let's see if I can sit on this side. Okay, so if they're reclined, it'll be a little tight. Let's hit this button. If you want to get someone out the back, it's pretty easy to do so. Now the seat does not go back into its position. I would like for them to change that, but nevertheless, same situation over here. You have climate, power seat, USBs, and in the second row, the air vents are actually on the side here. Out back, you have a ton of storage. It's not Suburban size, but it definitely gives you enough to put 3 large luggages out back. If you need to drop those seats, you do have some buttons you can push. Little power plug there. You can preset your tailgate too, if you like, so that way it doesn't hit the top of your garage or something like that. LED lights out back. They also have them on the back of the tailgate too for the interior. And they give you some hooks on each side too to tie things down. Looks like a subwoofer out back. And yeah, like I said, a lot of storage out back here. You can put some stuff you don't use a lot of in here. And they do put your jack beneath this panel. Now let's go ahead. I'm going to do a quick time lapse for you guys. I'm going to lower the Wagoneer to its lowest setting so you guys can see it, okay? So now it's in the lowrider mode, and I think it looks really, really nice this way. But of course, it will not drive this way down the road. It will lift up probably to like an aero mode. But you see the difference between them. And on that note, let's see if we can take it for a ride. All right, so we're going to take the Wagoneer for a quick drive. It's all warmed up. The stop-start system just came on, so we're going to see how well it is from a stop. Oh, perfect. You don't even feel it. It doesn't make the SUV like jolt or anything like that, which is what I like. Because sometimes I will just turn that system off as soon as I get in the car, but I would probably leave this on in here. Brakes are a little touchy. We'll let everything warm up a little bit before we judge it real quickly. But easy to really put the mirrors in place. Really good visibility for, and even having that third row seat up. I believe there's a way you can put the seat down while you're driving, or at least put the headrest down, I should say. You can do the second row, third row. There you go. So you can pop those down by just pushing the button. You can also do the second row too, which they don't really get in the way when you're going down the road. All right, so I got everything dialed in the way I like it. This definitely does feel big on the road. So if you're not wanting something that would make you feel uncomfortable driving it, this might feel a little bit too big for some people. It's easy to drive. It does not feel cumbersome. This feels like a luxury SUV. I've driven I haven't really driven like a G-Wagon before, but I've driven like a what was it, the GLS or GLE? One of those bigger Mercedes SUVs. I've driven one of those. I've driven plenty of Escalades. And I feel like with this size, it's really nimble. It doesn't feel cumbersome. Even with the 5.7, I mean, 404 pound-feet of torque, that's a lot of torque to get you going. So that's not a problem at all. Having that convex mirror on both mirrors is really helpful to see in your blind spot. I mean, this does have blind spot monitoring, but it's just still good to have some extra functions there too. Let me see, 60, 70, 80. Yeah, it's quick. I'm going 85 miles an hour right now in Mexico. But it's really quick on its feet. Not a lot of road noise. I was kind of surprised to see Nexen tires. I don't know what it is about Chrysler and these, cheaper brand tires. I'm used to seeing Michelin and Pirelli and, this a higher trim tire. This thing is really nimble. Like, brakes are really touchy though. I will say, like, that'll take me some time to get used to. As soon as you touch that pedal, it's braking. So you're gonna really have to like get used to this brake feel. I don't like it. Air suspension is for the win. If you're gonna buy one of these, I think air suspension is the way to go. For a big SUV, I'm really like happy with how it handles. I was really thinking that it's gonna be hard for them to dial this thing in, and they did a good job. I cannot say anything negative about how this big 6,000 pound SUV handles. I mean, body roll it's there, but you expect it in something this big. Oh yeah, it just feels really agile. I would definitely like to buy something like this for my wife in the future. Turn the lane sense on, see how it works. This does have the radar cruise control, all that good stuff too. I mean, there's a lot to like about this, and I'm really happy I got a chance to drive this. So special shout out for Tate for allowing me to drive this bad boy. Really comfortable. I think that Jeep and what they've done with the Wagoneer, really what they did with the Ram brand and what they're putting into the Jeep and now the Wagoneer, this is on another level of, you know, a lot of those other SUVs. I think that the way it handles, the overall feel of this, it just feels really comfortable. Now this brake pedal, it's you can probably see me, it's touchy. I'm not pushing the brakes down, it's just really grabby. Like as soon as you touch it, it's starting to really, you know, put that pressure on the brake. So apart from that, I think that's the only negative about this. The stop start system works good, and yeah, I think that overall it's a good SUV. It has good performance. I didn't do a 0 to 60, but it will get up and go. Alright, so let's take a look at the numbers for this SUV. So the gross axle weight rating out front is going to be 3,900 pounds. The gross axle weight rating out back is going to be 4,600 pounds. 7,500 pound gross vehicle weight rating. All in, this has a pretty big payload at 1,428 pounds, so not bad for a full-size SUV. So I would definitely feel comfortable towing a 7,000 pound trailer with something like this. Of course, you're going to want a weight distribution hitch and all that good stuff. But on that note, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope it was helpful. Be sure to like the video, follow my channel, and I'll see you guys in the next video.